it's a little private, public shape.
Yeah, I think we over here at Group Sideways 4 really envisions this site as being defined by the idea of flow. And that's the flow of time, looking back at 75 years ago when this area was rife with urban renewal projects that disconnected it from the people that make it the place it is, to now when we're looking 75 years into the future and how we solve that disconnect. Disconnect can only be solved by reconnection. So we envision the site as being anchored by a standard mini mill and a multimodal transportation hub that serves both regional needs and local needs via regional rail to the north, a little bit outside of our project area, but focusing on the regional rail that'll serve the city of Knoxville along the existing rail lines. That flow down, following the flow of First Creek through the site, really emphasize pedestrian connections through both the green space and the existing park, from Caswell Park to the Greenway, which follows First Creek to the Greenway up to Broadway via the already existing Greenway, as well as the connection and the flow of people with access to equitable housing, equitable food, equitable space, and equitable healthcare for the uses that will be supported by higher density residential housing along a pedestrianized Hall of Fame and a pedestrianized through street as well as pedestrian pathway.
Before we talk more about the program, I do want to focus a little aspect of the connection we have made. So we are rerouting, we're proposing to reroute Hall of Fame along the side, and then the purple line is the bus line. We're envisioning a local train in the existing railroad. We're envisioning people will not drive as much in 75 years, and there will be intercity or interstate rail connection. So in this intersection of bus, intercity train and local train will have a multimodal hub. And because we are rerouting Hall of Fame, all this space, all this right-of-way gate, and that's how it connects through the creek and through housing.
And so again, our goal here is to also connect people by uses that are needed in the area. So over here, again, we have this regional hub. So this is where the folks who are residents, but who are also visitors, are coming in here to Knoxville. And the main attraction is going to be the reimagined standard knitting mill, along with the civic amenities that we have over here along this pedestrian street. So we're reimagining this building as a clinic and pharmacy. If somebody who lives in the area, we're missing that. We're also going to have a library here. We have some other civic services that are important, such as 311, county clerk's office, a DMV, a fire station, police station, all of those here for the community. And then for Standard Knitting Mill itself, and also we have a museum here, right off from our multimodal hub. And that museum we're imagining not for underwear history, but for the local textile industry, and specifically the labor movement surrounding the local textile industry, which is connected to Standard Knitting Mill, but our region is full of a breadth of important history, in Harriman, in Elizabeth, and the Binberg plants, and this is a great place to site it where you can look right across the street. But for the mill itself, we're wanting to keep the main form of the building intact at the bottom, and we're reimagining that space to include a grocery store, but also we're really wanting it to focus on job training and providing accessible opportunities for entrepreneurship for folks in the area. So it'll have job training, but also business support, and be an office and commercial space as well, with upper story residential. So moving along here, these we're imagining as high-rise, high-density multifamily developments, again, 75 years in the future. So all of these buildings here, we have that existing bus stop. All of these buildings will be high-density residential, the same here, and this will also be residential. We're going to keep the existing YMCA and the senior center, and we're going to replace some of this parking in this area by extending the existing YMCA community garden, maybe collaborating with UT Ag Extension to get some native fruit trees there that are accessible for the community. Moving over here, we'll relocate the pavilion and grill space, have creek connections to First Creek, which you can now fish in. And then we'll have a Zen garden up here that may have some sculptures, just a more calming place away from the rest of the hub. And again, we'll relocate the big, very nice playground space to connect the young folks with the older folks here, with the middle-aged folks at the YMCA.
design. So all this space we're taking the green space to replace that we're proposing a sky pathway. So these buildings will be connected through pathway. You can imagine this. This is the steel mill. We have the transit hub here, and then we have this multi-family building here. All of this will be connected on the upper level as well as on the ground level. So we are not making any permanent modification to the building. These will be steel plants that you can attach or remove. The building itself will be as is, but you can consider it like a new vine on an old tree. So the building itself will be there, but it will be connected.
And I would just emphasize, even though we've got this transit hub up here, I think this is important. It could be a BRT line. I think the bus is still important. It's more accessible for a lot of people. Train moves a lot of people. Bus is accessible for the elderly, people with strollers. And also connecting before we go to Park Ridge. We've got lovely neighborhoods just connected by a back street. And I think making this greenway so beautiful that marathon runs through there. And even though we got a lot going on, adding the city to the space.
When you lose your baseball game cans or have to take a moment to come back to the bar.
Awesome. Thank you.